Welcome to Sunrise Valley Elementary School. My name is Kevin West, I'm the principal of Sunrise Valley. We're looking forward to greeting you, meeting you, welcoming you to our campus and our school, and getting to know your children in the coming years. Today with me is also Ashley Younger, our assistant principal.
I'm Ashley Younger, assistant principal at Sunrise Valley. Great to see everyone. Look forward to meeting you all in the coming weeks.
All right, so today, in this video, there's also a video that we hope that you're going to watch from our kindergarten teachers, where you get to meet our fabulous teachers. And they're sort of going over a day in the life of kindergarten and what to expect and what that looks like, just insight into that learning experience. Today, what Ms. Younger and I hope to provide you is a sort of an overview of a lot of the sort of operational or logistical items at Sunrise Valley to give you an overview within those areas. All of the information we're sharing today in this slideshow will have links. This will be posted in our kindergarten flyers cabinet, which you'll have access to. And then there also will be a family handbook that will have all the information as well. So we know this is a very exciting time for you. You're beginning a whole new phase of your life as your young children are sort of leaving home and going to school full time, and this is a time where they're really going to flourish, and you're going to see so much growth on a daily basis, and who your children are going to be at the end of their kindergarten years is going to be amazing. There's going to be so much wonderful growth. So I know it's kind of bittersweet. It's hard to see sort of them leaving home and being at school full time, but it's something very, very exciting, and you're going to enjoy as well. So the first thing is, if you haven't yet, please register as soon as possible. And so there's the contact information for a registrar. This is very important because the number of students we have enrolled dictates how many teachers we have. So if we want our children in smaller class sizes, we need to get them registered as early as possible. The later we get into this process, May, June, July, and with the registrations, if these aren't happening early, then we're probably going to be having higher class sizes and not being able to get new teachers to keep the class sizes low and optimal where we would prefer them. So we all kind of need to work on this together. And I know there's a lot of work with registering, and it's a process. But if we all can do this together and as soon as possible and get the registrations totally complete, that will really be helpful. If you watch the other video, and if you had previous children in Sunrise Valley, you might know a lot of these faces here. But this is our kindergarten team. So at the top, those are our 3 teachers, and at the bottom are the instructional assistants working with each one of those teachers. So we're very fortunate here with our team of teachers and with the instructional assistants that they've all been at Sunrise Valley for many years and at the kindergarten level, and they're very experienced. And all of them are just the most wonderful human beings. And I can't imagine better people to welcome your children to school and to nurture them and support them on this journey and this kindergarten learning experience. Okay. So as you see, breakfast and lunch are available on a daily basis in our school cafeteria. And this is an optional thing. So you can also pack your child's lunch and they can bring that to school. If you want to know what's available ahead of time, you can see the menus are posted. So you can sort of make those choices on certain days based upon food selections, if you want to buy food or if you want to pack a lunch based upon your child's preferences. Also, if your child has specific allergies or different types of things and needs specialized menus, there's a process that you can go through and apply for if you have the proper health forms and different types of things. So if you need assistance with any of that, please let us know. There also is meal assistance provided for families in need, but that's not. You have to apply for that ahead of time. So please make sure that you take care of that, process. And you don't need to send your child to school with lunch money, anything like that. You can handle that all from home through the My School Bucks online portal there. And that makes everything very easy. Just with food at school in the cafeteria, we do have so many children with food allergies and different types of things that food is not permitted to be shared. Many times our younger children want to trade lunches or different types of things as well. So please sort of let them know those types of things, we cannot do, and sort of the reasons, behind that. And because of that as well, we also don't have, classroom treats or, birthday celebrations in the classrooms where you come in and bring, cupcakes or different types of things. Those things, are not permitted, just because of all the different health considerations, with that. In the fall, your child's teacher will let you know what the daily snack time is as well, because our kindergarten classes generally eat towards lunch at the beginning of the day. Then the afternoon gets a little bit longer, so usually they have a break in that afternoon time. So to sort of let you know what time that is, and with that, we always encourage healthy snacks. Those are always the best, help to keep the children learning in the classroom. If you look at our school's webpage, you'll see what the school supplies are, for next year. So you'll have plenty of time to sort of get those materials ready for when school starts in August. Important dates to keep in mind is you can already see the entire school calendar for next year. So preview that ahead, especially if you need to plan, doctor's appointments or any sort of trips or anything like that. You can begin that long-term planning right now. The first day of school is August 21st. So that will be here before we know it. And all the other important dates that will be specific to Sunrise Valley Elementary, we'll be sharing, over the summer on our school website. So when the open house is, and that's an opportunity for all of our students after they get notification of who their teacher is for the year to come into school, come in with their classroom supplies, get into the classroom, sort of unpack, see where they're seating, meet their teacher and meet their classmates. And that happens, the week before school starts. And then the other item is the back to school night, and that's a night for parents to come in and just learn about your child's kindergarten learning experience, curriculum, procedures and everything, and get to meet the teacher and spend a little bit more time with the teacher, where they can provide those overviews and all that information that you'll need to know about kindergarten. These are the different ways that we can as a school communicate. So the first one is the News You Choose, and that's an electronic newsletter. If you want to start, you can actually begin subscribing to those now. Just go to that link, and then you can choose which ones you want to get, whether you want to get ones from Fairfax County, which are very helpful, and then also if you want to get one specifically from Sunrise Valley. And then you can begin to get a feel for those communications and what's included in them, and just begin learning things about Sunrise Valley. If you don't subscribe to that right now, before the school year starts, we take all of our new families and automatically enroll them in the News You Choose. So you automatically begin getting that. And then once you do, then you can sort of manage the permissions on that and handle your subscriptions, choose to get things or choose not to get things from that point. E-Notify, these are more essential communications and more critical or urgent communications, and everyone is automatically receives these. There's no sort of opting in or opting out of these. Our PTA also does a lot of communications. They do newsletters as well, and they also operate a Facebook page. So we encourage you to sign up and be a part of our PTA. Our PTA is really vibrant and active, and they're so wonderfully supportive of our school. And they really provide so many enhancements for our families and for our children here at Sunrise Valley. They do an amazing job and helps to make the experience, I think, here at Sunrise Valley really unique. So I encourage you to also join and be a part of that community as well. And they just make our school better. So please join and support our PTA. And then also we share information on our website as well, just different resources that you need available. And then also in what we're calling the SVS Flyers cabinet that you have access to is our family handbook, and sort of everything that you would need to know to support, and get through things, have your questions answered. Or for instance, let's say my child has a food allergy and I need to have health forms or different types of things. How does that get handled? All that information is in there, and it's very detailed. So I encourage you to sort of skim through that to see what's available, and then that way you know how that's a useful resource. And once again, please feel free to reach out to anyone, myself, Ms. Younger, anyone directly at any time. We're happy to be a support and to meet as needed. Our school is a very late starting school, so our bell schedule is 9:20 to 4:05. Our campus opens at 9 o'clock, so you can begin dropping children off anytime from 9 o'clock on. There is no supervision or people on duty before 9 o'clock, so and the school inside of the school is not inaccessible at that time, so it's not possible to drop children off, before that time. If children are here between 9 and 9:10, all of our children go to the gym in the morning, or they could also go to the cafeteria if they're having breakfast. Then at 9:10, our first bell rings and our classrooms open, and children make their way from the cafeteria or the gym down to their classrooms. If you're arriving between 9:10 and 9:20, you just go directly to your classrooms at that time. At 4:05, all of our students are dismissed. If your children is a bus rider, those buses might not be departing until about 4:15 or 4:20. Once the routes settle in for the school year, that would be a sort of a typical departure time. Just takes a little bit of time to load the buses. I think we have probably 12 or 13 buses that need to be loaded, so that process takes a little bit of time. And also, because we are a late school, our buses are often coming from middle school routes, then high school routes. So we're the, and maybe even earlier dismissal elementary routes. So if there's any delays within that process, then the students will be delayed here. If a bus does not arrive on time and is late, we take care of the children. They're just hanging out in our cafeteria in here with our staff. So they're well taken care of until the buses arrive. And here's just some more information about arrival and dismissal. If your children are walking to school, they use door 1 to enter. We do have some children that come from the trails on the other side of school. And if they're coming from that side, also door 9 would be available to walk in. We have a kiss and ride loop. So all the children there will be utilizing door 9. And if you're using a SAC, that's before and after school care, that is at door 8. And also you will see on our school website, we have information about our kiss and ride procedures. And we'll also be sharing those prior to the start of school through those e-notify communications that I talked about previously. Something that is very important, that if at the beginning of the school year, please make sure your child knows how they're getting home every day. So don't just take it for granted or make any assumptions that you talked about at once, especially with our kindergartners. This needs to be a routine and something that you talk about every morning with your child, and make sure that they can regurgitate it and get it, give you the information back. If your children are, for instance, riding bus 9, make sure they're familiar with the visual of a 9 and know how to recognize that and know which bus that they're getting on in different types of things. So please really work with your children on this. We encourage your dismissal routines to be as consistent as possible. So for instance, always choose to be a walker, or always choose to be a kiss and ride, or always choose to be a bus rider. The more routine and consistency that you have, the better setup your children are going to have. So please make sure you really work with your children on this. If there is a unique situation for some reason where your child does need to go home differently, you'll see the inbox there that you need to notify our school with. That has to be done by noon each day. We cannot take any changes to the routine after noon on any day. So that's just not possible, to make sure we get the communications to the teachers and to the students. So it needs to be done at that time. Also, if your child will be picked up early, for instance, for a doctor's appointment or different types of things, you can use that inbox as well. Okay. If your child is going to be absent, it's very important that you communicate with the school and the reason of the absence. And these are the different methods that you can do that. The same thing if, for instance, you have a doctor's appointment in the morning, they're coming in late, please provide that prior notice and utilize these processes. So attendance is really important. And so our students need to be in school as much as possible. So we encourage all those types of things, doctor's appointments or any sort of family things. You have the school calendar, please try to schedule those things for times when school is not in session. We obviously understand that's not always possible, or things might come up sort of unexpectedly, and those are important. Those need to be dealt with, and we certainly understand that, and that's part of the process. But you'll see absences are either excused or unexcused, and you'll see sort of how those are classified, and you'll see sort of the documentation that would be required for that. And a lot of times families do take trips during the school year, different types of things, and those do fall in the unexcused absences. So sort of just keep that in mind. All right. Many of our students have specific medical or health needs. So we encourage you before the school year starts to reach out to our school health nurse. So you can begin working on the health plan that your student will require, and our nurse can work with our teachers and our staff to make sure that everything is in place prior to the school year. Whether that's, your child has diabetes and requires care, or a food allergy, or whatever it may be. Those things are important to communicate ahead of time. And for any type of thing where medicine or care has to be provided at school, there's a lot of paperwork and communication from your family doctor to our school that needs to be completed. So it's typically not a process that can happen, right away. So we encourage you to look into that as early as possible and to begin working on that. So that on day one, your child has all the support that they're needed. And please remember, what immunizations are required before school starts for your child to attend. Okay. We're sharing this video with you, and hopefully you're watching this ahead of time, but we have a really exciting event on April 27th, where we hope you can join us, and that's 5 to 6 p.m. And that's for parents and for the children as well to come in, meet each of our kindergarten teachers, and do an activity in each one, and you really get a good feel for what a kindergarten experience is like, and what our teachers are like. So we really hope to meet you and see you there. Thank you. Ms. Younger, anything else?
I was muted there. No, I think you got it all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Look forward to seeing you.